Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode here at the Debate Circle. We are in the Rift Valley region and we cannot wait to crown the winners of this region. In today's motion of dissection, the motion reads, African governments should establish a legal investment aid to promote sober financial decisions by the youth. I'll read the motion of dissection again. African governments should establish a legal investment aid to promote sober financial decisions by the youth. Proposing and opposing this motion is Anestar Precious Girls High School versus Moy Forces Academy, Lanet. All the best to both teams. Team proposition first speaker, you have 3 minutes.
It is written in the good book that from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And since my heart is abundantly filled with the urge to inform the citizens and the government on the benefits of establishing a legal investment age, I will speak my thoughts. Ladies and lads, my name is Hope Rindi from the Moy Forces Academy, Lanet, here to firmly support the motion that the African government should establish a legal investment age to provide sober financial decisions by the youth. Now, what is a government, some may ask? A government is a system made up of a group of people that manage a country or state and its resources. What does the term establish mean? To establish means to start a system that is meant to last for a long time. What does the term sober mean? Sober means sensible and solemn. What is a legal investment age? A legal investment age is therefore the legal age to independently engage in stock trading. In most parts of the US, the legal age to independently engage in stock trading is 18, and we've all seen how prospering the country is doing in terms of business and technology. So here are some of the reasons why I think that the African government should establish a legal investment age. The first one is promotion of financial literacy. What is financial literacy? Financial literacy is the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills. You see, when one is financially literate, they have the essential foundation for a smart relationship with money. In Africa, 60% of the population is aged 15 to 24. These are the youth, while the remaining 40% is aged 25 to 60. This is the working age. This means that the number of people earning in Africa is less than the number of people who don't earn. We all want to have a stable, if not a high financial state in our country, but tell me, how is that possible with the numbers looking like that? However, by setting a legal investment age, the government can encourage young people to learn about financial markets and investments. This education can empower them to make informed decisions when they eventually start investing. This leads me to my second point, which is economic growth. What is economic growth? Economic growth is the increase in goods and services of an economy, typically a nation, over a long period of time. Now, a practically savvy youth population can lead to economic growth. So, by establishing a legal investment age, which would have led to financial literacy, more young individuals can invest wisely. I repeat, wisely. Then, by investing wisely, they then channel capital into productive sectors, therefore supporting businesses and job creation. This point, economic growth, can be supported by SDG number 8, which says decent work and economic growth. I move to my third and final point, reducing dependence. Like I said earlier, establishing a legal investment age encourages the youth to invest wisely. Therefore, by empowering the youth to invest wisely, the governments reduce their reliance on social safety nets. And these responsible investments by the youth lead to financial independence and promote reduce the burden on public resources. To consolidate my facts, I will leave you with this quote that Napoleon Hill once said: "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. If it wasn't done before, do it now. We didn't have a legal investment age before. Let's do it now and we'll see the benefits." I leave you to make a choice.
In the dynamic landscape of economic Africa, we confront a pivotal policy proposal that addresses the intersection of youth empowerment and financial literacy in Africa. Should African government mandate a legal investment age among our youth? Sarah, representing the mighty Anestar Precious, I'll be strongly opposing the motion that says African governments should establish a legal investment age to promote sober financial decisions by the youth. First and foremost, let us delve deeper into this crucial debate. We get to know who is an African. An African who's anyone who belongs to the Africa continent. An African is anyone who's seated right here, right now in this hall. In short, an African is anyone who is black. an African is a black person. Next, we get to know who's the government. The government is a set of group of people who have the authority to govern a people in a state. Next, we get to know what is to establish. It's to create an organization that is meant to last for a long time. What is the law? The law is, what is legal, I mean? Legal is being permitted by the law. Investment is an asset acquired to generate income. Being sober is being in a right state of being serious and a sensible way of thinking. Financial is anything related to money. A decision is a judgment that you make after thinking and talking about what is the best thing to do. Lastly, a youth is someone who is in a state of being young. Opposing this motion actually means that we will be compelled to consider not only the risk inherent in early financial engagement, but also the potential benefits of regulatory guidance in shaping responsible financial behaviors. And you should know, winter is coming, but we are in the tropics.
My opponent has always been known to have a smooth approach to debate and to always have an iron glove covering an iron fist. Now that is why you turn to your neighbor and say, ah. But today, you're losing track. You say you've offended my third speaker by saying that an African is a black person. Is she black? No, she isn't. Ladies and gentlemen, we're debating on African government should establish a legal investment age to promote sober financial decisions by the youth. But at this point in time, do you agree or disagree? Now, give me 3 minutes, and by the time I'm done, I will have convinced you. I'm Linda Precious from the Moi Forces Academy Lanet, and as the name suggests, the forces that unite us are intrinsic, super, and greater than the imposed influences that separate us. And therefore, in unity, we join together to say, we join together to propose the motion. Now, when the government establishes a legal investment age to promote financial decision, it is of benefit. It reduces the risk mitigation. Now, the youth population in Kenya is 47.6 million, 37.5 million being those under the age of 35 years, which makes up 80%. Now, on risk mitigation, young investors often lack and may be more susceptible to risk investments. By imposing an investment age limit, government can protect them from hasty decision. Majorly, learning a skill, it is best when one is young, and investment is no different. Missteps are common when learning a new skills, but when it comes to money, there are consequences. A fact checked by Katrina Mushello and reviewed by Thomas Brook says, young people make mistakes in investments, but you do learn from mistakes, and the earlier, the better. When the government also establishes an investment age, it also prevents exploitation. Now, unscrupulous organization may take advantage of the young investors. Thus, a legal investment age will protect these young people from the hasty exploitation. So the young people will be aware of these organizations that tend to do things like selling counterfeit, they do false advertising, and also hidden fees and law products. It also strengthens the investor confidence. A clear legal framework for investment and eligibility instills confidence in the financial system. Both the young and the old, they need an assurance that their rights are protected. And that is why the government should establish a legal investment age. Now, if you concur with me, thumbs up for you. Thank you.
Well, we didn't mean like someone who is dark skin is an African. But if you have the slightest tone of melanin, you are an African. Thank you. I go by the name Dorcas Ding from the Anestar Precious Girls High School, here to strongly oppose the motion that states establishment of legal investment age by African government purportedly to foster responsible financial decisions among its youth. So on to my first point, we have the potential stifle of entrepreneurship. For instance, young entrepreneurs and investors may be discouraged if they have unable unable to access the investment opportunities due to age restrictions. For instance, if I have an idea of certain job and I'm restricted just because of my age, it won't add up. Maybe my idea will help out because you don't know what I have in mind, and probably it will help. On to my second point, we have practical implementation challenges. Enforcing a legal implement age could be challenging due to varying level of financial literacy and access to information across different regions and demographic within African countries. To my opponents, if it will be of pleasure if you cross over to join us to oppose this motion. Thank you.
Ladies, lads, and the able judges, maturity is the key. Tell me, how can a 10-year-old start investing, yet they lack the mental capacity and maturity as well? The name is Darmi Robert Adicha from the Moi Forces Academy Lanet. I, as a protagonist of this motion, stand with the motion that states that African government should establish a legal investment age to promote a sober financial decision by the youth. With me are examples of initiatives that promote investment among the youth. According to Microtrends, the unemployment rate in Kenya presently stands at 5.50%, with young people below hardest hit, 60.86 permanently employed, and 13.6 self-employed. We have different organizations such as FX Pesa and individual veteran forex traders that have made the mandate to equip the youth, this youth above the age of 18 years, with the trading skills. Again, how can a 10-year-old with this, lacking this skill, invest? I don't understand. Maybe make me understand. And yet, I'm not convinced with what my opponents are saying. If it's upon the funds, the Kenyan government has already established the hustler funds, where the youth are provided with capital to start their business. Now, you can say funds is not available. The youth who are above the age of 18 years, they have the capacity. And Africa should start establishing this legal investment. For long, people have been looking down upon us. Now it's time for Africa to change. It's time for the other continents to change their perspective in us. If it wasn't established there long ago, it has to be established now. You see, Jennifer Duke said, if in a world where you must be anything, be kind. But I, Darmi Robert Adicha, stand in front of you today and say, in a world where you choose to be anything, be wise. My fellow audience, let's be wise and stand with this motion. To my opponents, are you against the motion or with the motion? I'm still not yet convinced with your facts.
Today, we vehemently oppose the motion that proposes that African governments should establish a legal investment age to promote sober financial decisions by the youth. I go by the name Naomi Jenga from Anestar Precious Girls. And these are the reasons why I oppose this motion. First of all, I would like to go to my fellow colleague who's just saying that we should propose this motion. How can a 10-year-old start investing? I have an example of a boy named Hussein in Peru, the country named Peru. This boy was recognized by the world after he developed a bank. This was the first bank developed by a young child. It all started when, with his friends, they started saving, saying that they should not use the money to do inappropriate things. And by the end of 17 years old, the bank developed. So, while you're saying that a 10-year-old can't develop this, can't invest, you're truly wrong. So, when we propose this motion as to how they are saying, will inhibit the freedom of choice of the youth. Establishing a legal investment age limit will make financial, the youths and the individuals that make financial decisions based on their own capabilities and knowledge. This, as to why they're saying that we should propose it, they assume that all the youth lack financial literacy and responsibility, which is not necessarily true. It's not true. What makes a youth? It's not by the age. It is by the maturity, and maturity is not determined by the age. 2, we'll stifle the innovation. What do we mean by that? Will prevent something from happening. Many successful entrepreneurs started their ventures at a young age. Somebody like Mark Zuckerberg, who developed Facebook while still a sophomore in Harvard University. Was he an adult? No, he wasn't. So imposing a legal investment age could stifle their innovation and entrepreneurial spirit among the youth who have viable business ideas to drive them to succeed. Number 3, the barrier of economic growth. They're saying that if we support the youths not having this legal investment age, the economic growth will drop. This is not true. Entrepreneurship and investments of young people nowadays, talking about the 20th century, is what is happening right now. You'll find that many youths are the ones that are in the businesses right now. It is important to realize that maturity and responsibility vary among individuals, regardless of age. Instead of a blanket legal age, we should emphasize on the accountability by teaching them and supporting them in schools, rather than saying we should have a legal age limit. Thank you.
Gentlemen, you will one day be married to these girls, but I assure you, with their lies, they will break your marriage. There's one thing more pathetic than being blind, and that is the sight without vision. And I assure you, they don't have vision. My fellow audience, allow me to demonstrate. Look at your left finger. Look at your ring finger. At your left hand, at the ring finger. Imagine it with a diamond ring. Wow, superb. The ring, yeah, it's there. Imagine it now without the diamond ring. It's bleak. That is Africa without establishing legal investment age in the youth. And with the diamond ring on the finger, that is Africa that has established a legal investment age to promote sober financial decision by the youth. Thank you.
By acknowledging the potential of youth and empowering them to take the lead, we can tap into their innovative ideas as they are fresh and they have boundless energy to drive the social and economic progress. We should not undermine the ideas that the youth have. I, as a youth, you as a youth, you might have an idea that is to the benefit of the economy of Africa. When we say that we are putting a legal age limit in the economy, we are undermining the ideas of the youth. We should realize that it is important, yes, to have the sober financial decisions in the economy, but alternative measures that empower the youth and educate people can be used, rather than putting a blanket of legal age limits in the economy. Youth have power, and it's only believing that we should do so that will go far. Thank you.
Oh my, what a smoking debate. Hope Rindi, you brought hope to the motion and the team. Girl, you're a powerful debater, very articulate, grandiloquent, and highly charged. I mean, you defined the key terms pretty well. However, you don't have to define each and every term. It eats into your time. Just focus on the key terms. Here, the key terms are a legal investment age and sober financial decisions. And the youth, those are key terms. But I liked, the points you gave. However, for purposes of bettering your best, make sure whenever you give statistics, you give sources. You spoke about 60% and all that. We were waiting for the sources. They were not there. Somebody will accuse you of cooking. You spoke about economic growth, the connection from investing wisely, supporting businesses, job creation, and then bringing in the SDG that hit home so warmly. So you are a powerful debater. With more practice, you'll definitely leave the podium smoking. Linda Precious. Linda, as a second debater, your role is to rebuttal, so you can do more solid rebuttals. Don't let the opposition get away with points when you can poke holes into them. And I'm saying this to both teams. The role of the second debater is to rebuttal, and you must give powerful rebuttals. Linda, you have a powerful stage presence. And the question I was asking myself, which was not solidly coming out for the, Hope, Linda, and Dami is there anywhere where this has happened, where we have a legal investment age? Is there any country where this has happened? How did it happen? And how can Africa borrow that? There was a missing link there. But in terms of stage presence, perfect. So for Linda, more research could have done you justice. Dami, I like your parting shot. The analogy and, the ring and all that. That thing hit home well. There is something about you uniquely in terms of style and presentation. So you keep on eating whatever you're eating. Now, for all the participants, whenever you give us names of people, Linda, you spoke about Katrina, Thomas, Dami, you come and talk about Jennifer. Who are these people? Who are these people? You need to go ahead and give some, are they experts in these fields? And when you mention their, expertise, it also gives you a score for mastery of topic, because you're giving us credible sources from credible people. All right. Anestar Precious, Sarah Tutu. Again, as a first debater, you don't have to define each and every key term. It eats into your time. Just focus on the key terminologies. Sarah, I like your stage presence, very powerful. With more research, trust you me, you could have turned the tables for your team. So there is need for you to give us more research, because the question is, African government should establish a legal investment age to promote sober financial decisions by the youth. Sarah, as a first debater, we expected you to give us which are these sober financial decisions apart from having a legal investment age. Of course, Naomi came in guns blazing with a lot of icing on the cake, giving us all the points in as far as, entrepreneurship is concerned and all that. So Naomi, you came in strongly for this team. In fact, you matched Hope in terms of style and presentation. You have this powerful stage presence. So let's work on that. Dorcas, the definition of terms. An African is not only determined by the darkness or lightness of their skin. African definition could be regional. Any person who hail from Africa. Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, those guys are not as dark as Jomo Mogire, but they are Africans by virtue of being in Africa. Is that okay? So the definition goes beyond just melanin. This was fairly well interpreted. I can only say all the best to both teams. Remember, there is no winner. It is a learning experience. Thank you. God bless.